right. How was I gonna start this one off? Uh, this is my. I'm gonna do a brief review of Halo One, just so that there's a fourth video in this series because otherwise it's just gonna be three videos. I thought I had more. I guess I don't. Um, and I recorded a Halo One bit yesterday, but it wasn't funny. It was like what I was pissed off for some reason, so it's just like really bad. It just wasn't good. I would be ashamed if I had put it out. So I'm re-recording it. I'm in a better, more sedate mood, which is good because that's kind of how this game plays out, or at least that's my recollection of this game. I got this game like a year ago, maybe last February, at either a Goodwill or a Salvation Army. And I was kind of surprised to find it because usually all they have in the multimedia department of either of those stores is like 8 seasons of Arrested Development or Jerry Maguire for some reason. And Garden State. They have every one of those places has a copy of Garden State. So I was kind of blown away to find like a game that I actually kind of wanted to play. And it just so happened to coincide with my girlfriend at the time having bought out of the blue an Xbox 360. So I brought it home, I started playing it, and then I remember my girlfriend coming out of her room. She was like, Jack, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And I'm like, well, I'm playing Halo. I got it for like $5. She's like, on whose Xbox? And it was either turn the game off or pay me for half of what I bought the Xbox 360 for. So while the game itself costs $5, I I think I ended up paying $65 to play it, which was really funny. Was it worth it? Was it worth $65? I can't really say. It was certainly worth $5 though. And I remember that weekend really, really clearly for some reason. I think it just so happened, this purchase, just so happened to have coincided with like a multitude of quote unquote life events, some of which took place that weekend. And so I remember it really clearly because I was really busy that weekend and I was going all over the place and I was frustrated about something and I was seeing a bunch of people and Halo 1 was my respite from it all. And it really is. It's like, I'm not going to go into like Halo 1 versus Halo 2. I'll just say right off the bat, Halo 2 is hard. I don't really like Halo 2 that much. I don't find it very fun. For whatever reason. I think they change it up too much. Like you're one level, you're in a ship, then you're in another ship, then you got to blow up a ship. And there's just not enough running and gunning. And then I don't like the alien weapons. I just don't like the feel of that game. But just to get it out of the way, Halo 2 has some of the best ambient sound design I have heard on the Xbox. So for what it's worth, it's doing something right. But Halo 1 is just like a really good game. It's like a pretty straightforward, Halo 1 is pretty, not even Halo 1, all the Halo games pretty ubiquitous, I could pick it up and I knew exactly how to play it. It kind of set the standard for most stuff, I would say, to a certain degree. So getting the hang of it was no trouble, but I was surprised to find that it's like a lot more fluid than I remember it being. The jumps are really floaty, obviously, but this game you just get into kind of like a zen flow state. It's like a really therapeutic kind of game, I think, and that's part of the reason that is an effect, I guess, on me. Excuse me, is that The game has a lot of repetition to some people's chagrin. You know, I'm sure it's not everybody's cup of tea. Like, it's literally copy and paste level design throughout a lot of it, which I happen to really find myself enjoying when I played it. I don't know. There was something really satisfying about walking into a room for like the third time, knowing the layout, knowing that the enemies would be placed differently, or in this room, they're all sleeping rather than already firing at you when you walk in. So there's enough variation there. But at the end of the day, this is kind of like an arena shooter type game. And so the repetition almost just feels like wave after wave after wave of enemies rather than going through the same place again. And that's ultimately what the game does well, is that it feels so good to jump, to turn, to fire, that you just get kind of like, seriously, you just zen out while you're playing it. It's like so, yeah, it's so comfortable and therapeutic. And of course it looks pretty, you know, it has the weird Xbox purple color. It's like all the graphical shit that you've come to know about that I've come to know about the Xbox is on, you know, pretty much full display in this game, like the flashlight and everything. It's a game it's nice to look at, but because it's like so arena shooter designed, you don't really get caught up in it. Or I didn't get caught up in it the way I got caught up in these other games, where I was kind of distracted by how cool everything was, how pretty everything was. This game looks good, but at the end of the day, there's not much there. And even if there was stuff there, you're just going to be playing through it again because the game is repetitious in that way. And so it just does, you know, it's a game. It's a game. You're playing. It's fun. It just feels good. Like it's yeah, you're really just playing. The act of play comes into play here, which is exciting. And the other thing I really like is that you can basically complete the game with any weapon you want. I think all the weapons are so well balanced in this game. Sorry, I'm eating a Swedish fish. About once a year, I'll buy a box of Swedish fish. And holy shit, they are so good. This is my favorite, like, gummy kind of candy. Oh my god. Okay, I have to stop eating this while I'm talking. All the weapons are super well balanced, which I did not find to be the case in the second one. I think the second game there's some legitimately awful weapons, you know, which makes sense. You know, like a secondary weapon shouldn't be that great, but I thought it was really interesting. Oh my god, it's stuck in my teeth. Sorry, everybody. I should not have done this. Oh my god. I'm almost choked on that thing. I didn't find it that... Yeah, I know, blah, 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 blah. I found it very exciting that they decided to do that with Halo 1. Or maybe they didn't design to do it, or they didn't plan to do it. Maybe it's a design flaw. Maybe some people are don't. Maybe it's too easy of a game. I have no idea. I really don't. All I know is that it was like the most easygoing, fun... yeah, let me give you an example. This is the kind of game it is. Whereas a lot of the other games I'll be reviewing, I like sit down, I plan it out. I'm like, all right, tonight or tomorrow night, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to play the game. You know, you plan ahead because they're kind of like important games, and you have to pay a lot of attention. With Halo 1, like I'd be sitting there doing something, and I'd remember that I could go and play Halo 1, and I'd be like, oh my god, I'm going to go do that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go play Halo 1. Like, it was so fun. It was like a mobile app. You know, it was like that level of addicting. It's really, really, really fun. It feels so good to play. And even just yesterday I was recording the footage for this, which is why I suck so horribly. Don't take that as an invitation to shit on me. anybody, everybody. What was I gonna say? But even playing yesterday just for a little bit, and I was like, oh man, I want to play this again. It's such a fun game. It's so pretty. And if you haven't played it in a while, it's worth a replay. I think. You can't really go wrong with it. And that's my mild Halo 1 review. Okay, bye-bye.